Okay, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and we are at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Green Bay Packers and the Los Angeles Chargers. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10.
Switch, switch. Bang, 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 bang. Check 37.
They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. We know this offense, they're built around passing the football. That time, the running game didn't suit them so well.
Not so well, but they have to do it every so often. You have to be able to control the pass rush a little bit, make them somewhat hesitant before they come and get your quarterback. At least have the illusion that you have a running game.
On second and 12, Rodgers. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Hey, Charlie, where's the mic? Number 50. Hey, you block over here.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Throwing now is Rodgers. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 27. Melvin Gordon, the 2-time Pro Bowler. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Go orange. Orange. 57's the mic. Watch 57. I got one. Left. 57. Hey, orbit. Let's get some penetration.
They just got that play off. Now Rivers. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
He's checking. Crash. Red.
Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And he'll take this back down inside the 20.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Crosby with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10.
The Charger drive about to get going, and they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. Let's see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
I'm going back to you.
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down.
Mike 42, check, Mike 42. In your face. White.
And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down.
Joker. He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Completes it to Benjamin. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the 1st down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Here we go. 31's the mic. Let's get the ball. You go back and get it.
Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the Pack up on 3rd and long.
Check it back.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a first down as he stopped at the 48. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
Let's go.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
On 1st and 10, Rivers. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. That pick is 9th on the season.
Remember when we were kids and you were playing Little League Baseball and they penciled you in the 9 spot in the order? That wasn't so good, was it?
Were you in the 9 hole?
Or you played the 9 position, right field? That wasn't so great.
That wasn't. You're picking dandelions out
Exactly.
there. But the 9 picks,
9 picks, you want that in a big way.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Past the 20. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Packers are able to strike quickly for 6. Crosby connects on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Charger drive about to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Red Delta! 57. Hey, team 6. 57 to Mike. Q.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Alpha!
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And caught by Henry. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Well, last year, Henry really looked poised for a prime breakout season, but then May 22nd, tore his ACL during OTAs, ruled out for the year. Actually was added to the active roster in a pretty heroic return for their playoff clash with New England, but did not play. 29 career games for Henry, 12 touchdowns, and now with Antonio Gates' career coming to a close. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Throwing is Rodgers. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
From the 31, Rivers. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target, but now it's 3rd down. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that, but if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
On 3rd down, this is Melvin Gordon. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait in enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Check. Watch twist.
They're going to run. This is Gordon. Muscles him off. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. First down, Rivers. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
An update from Denver. The Broncos have taken the early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. A first down throw here for Rivers. Complete. Hunter Henry with the ground. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A. And by the way, it's worth noting that the Packers are one of 3 teams that Phillip Rivers has never beaten in his long career in the league. Carolina is one, of course, his own team, the Chargers, another, and then the Packers. It's caught inside the 25. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. A first red zone opportunity here for the Chargers. 1st and 10 at the 19.
Left. 57's the mic.
Check pass.
Tighten up. 61. Match box.
Now Gordon on first down. Sharp move, but can't find much space. Dropped just inside the 20. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Let's put that team on the bus. Buffalo. Mike 42.
Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
Hey, Zoo.
Hey,
Delta.
From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Kevin King with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball. Give me that ball, defense.
So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top, as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
Let's go.
The Charger drive about to get going. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. That one good for 13 and a Charger first. Rivers now to throw on first down. It's complete to Watt. Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Hey, I'm going to go load it. Load it.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Rivers. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Kill. Wait. Hey. Load it. Cluster. Hey, I'm going to go load it. Bravo.
Throwing, Rivers. Completes it to Watt. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Gordon. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Hey, Rocket.
Rivers on first down. And this will be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10.
Play. 0-0. Orange 5-4. Hey, check. 25. Red Delta.
Throwing again. Rivers. And he's got his man. It's Henry for a Chargers touchdown. Hunter Henry. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers, they're able to cut into that deficit. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it's now a 28-7 ball game. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
We got 4.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Tackle made there by the safety, Derwin James.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there, Keeps the sticks moving.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 14 yards, good for a Packer 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Rodgers throwing complete here to St. Brown. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 42-yard line.
319. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Check. Fresno.
On 2nd down now, it's Jones. And good pursuit yet again by the Chargers as they stuff him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Complete to Jones. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Rodgers will bring him up to the line, 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
At the 37-yard line.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Motion. Cat 300. 31's the mic. Box it. Blue Dan.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive.
31's the mic. Here we go, G. Get up. Hey, exit. 31's the mic. Get him.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And he fires one, but incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will extend the lead out to 24. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. They could get it done. But guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. To throw, Rivers. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 34. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirt.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Equanimous St. Brown. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the lead will swell by 1 more. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Charger drive about to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Rivers. Packer pressure, and down he goes. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack. So it's 3rd and long for the Chargers and Rivers after the sack. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? Best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions. Because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
At the Chargers' 49-yard line.
Credit the tackle there to Uchenna Nwosu.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
Well, not a big gain with that play, but what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a fourth down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And did he have enough? He did. He kept it online and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. And, Charles, when you start talking about NFL kickers that have hit from 62 or further, it's a pretty short list, isn't it?
That it is, but how about the trust by a head coach to even let your kicker try from that range? That's really showing a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
Yeah, faith and guts. The Charger drive about to get going. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
From the 27, Rivers. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Hey, I'm going to go load it. Load it. Hey, go orange. Orange. Q.
Mike 3. I don't even know why this team showed up.
Recon, 132 Fox.
Here's Rivers. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. A good pickup there, a 22. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander. The intended receiver there, Allen. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Again, it's Jones. And good pursuit yet again by the Chargers as they stuff him behind the line. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. He's going to float this over the middle, and that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little a little extra on top.
The extra point up and good, but this one was decided anyway, as that will be the final action in this ball game. So we had action to the very end of this one, the score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end, and you know some coaches preach that and tell their teams that's what I want all the time, and they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for Green Bay, the train just keeps rolling 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the home team here, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll be off to Oakland next week for a date with the Raiders. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.